Do you remember when you were a little kid? Almost every child with toys had one similar thought. What would happen if toys come to life? What if they came to life anyway and we didn't know it? Maybe they only did that when we were sleeping or we weren't home. After all, haven't strange things ever happened to you as a child? Did anything ever happen with your toys that you can't explain? It makes you wonder sometimes, doesn't it? Sometimes you may explain some of these happening things away as a dream, but in the back of your mind you might realize that some of these things actually happened. Then those childish ideas and fantasies don't seem to be silly anymore. I remember I used to collect My Little Pony dolls back in the 1990s. They were one of my favorite toys, and admittedly when I was small, I took the scissors to one's hair, butchering her once beautiful pink mane. Later on, feeling ashamed, I stashed her away in a cardboard box with a few of her toys, just so I don't have to look at what I have done to her. Years later, I opened that box and her hair was suddenly as if she was freshly out of the package. It may sound impossible, but it was as if her hair had grown back. And surely I can't be the only one who's awakened to find my playthings somewhere where I'm absolutely sure I didn't leave them. The strangest part of all is that I know nobody else touched them while I was rest, and it was as if they had sprung to life and placed themselves where they wished of their own free will. I tried to understand why Mr. and Mrs. Flopsy were sitting on the tea table, seeming to stare at me expectantly, when nobody had been in my room for the entire night. They were previously sitting on top of the toy box. So I clearly recalled one incident in which there was a clown toy I had from when I was small, sitting in my closet. I was digging through my things trying to minimize the inventory before I moved. There were many articles of clothing I knew I would never wear again, and even more toys that I knew I wouldn't even touch. Why would I want to keep them if they are just going to gather dust? When I began looking around in my closet, I saw a clown toy on the shelf. I recoiled in faint disgust. I remember it vaguely from when it was little. It was around the bottom so it would be bobbling around instead of just topple over in whim of infant. I remember as a small child, I cried at the sight of it. Its smile looked menacing and hateful. I didn't even know what it was going to do in my closet. I couldn't imagine any child wanting the obnoxious clown toy, so I simply threw it away in the garbage. 2 days later, I resumed clearing out the closet, only to find the toy where it had waited for me as it had previously. This may not be enough proof for you, and anyhow, people tell stories all the time, don't they? But I think back, has everything like this ever happened to you? Have you ever been so stirred from your sleep by the sound of a wailing baby doll? Have you ever found by an unfamiliar plush toy that seemed to be just waiting for you to pick it up and take it home? And everyone knows that Barbie likes to randomly shed her clothes. Have you ever let that thought that maybe when you're away, the toys want to play their own games?
What's up, my pretties? It's the Lion Queen here. I want to appreciate you all for tuning into this video, and I do appreciate you guys supporting my video by giving this video likes and stuff. If you really enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, comment and subscribe if you're new, ring the bell for notifications to when I upload so that way you guys will get updated for whenever I upload. If you want to follow me on Twitter or DeviantArt, feel free to leave a follow on those if you are interested in following me on those socials. If you want to support my backup channel, known as Miss Dark Shigo, feel free to subscribe to it, as a link to that will also be in the About page section. And with that being said, and that being the case, thank you so much for watching, my pretties, and as always, please stay pretty.